Without any doubt, rojiao, chopped meat in a bun or Chinese burger, is one of the most famous of all Xi'an snacks. Pizza, on the other hand, is Italy's signature food. People might say that the reason why they never tire of eating these two delicious types of food is because both forms of cuisine work so well in the way they are made. So how come they are so much greater than the sum of their parts? It is believed that rojiao has been popular since ancient times, and the reason why it can last for so many centuries is due to the perfect combination of all its qualities.
咱们这个和面上有什么讲究没有？
用的是咸阳产的高筋粉，捞面发酵7、8个小时吧，面才能紧，才能酥。
For the chefs of Xi'an, they can't make an authentic baiji bun without years of skill.
看得出就非常的熟练。
呀，打磨都20、30年了，菊花心、虎皮贝、钢丝圈，下来再烘烤，就是北京馍的特点。
Learning requires constant work. Besides good dough, you need excellent craftsmanship. It's only in this way that the bun can be crispy on the outside and soft on the inside, with a lasting aroma of wheat.
咱这个好的这个白吉馍吃完了之后，觉得那香味好像一直能延续到你的这个胃里边那种感觉。
对对对。
After making the bun comes the most amazing moment. In fact, it takes much longer to prepare the meat than to make the bun. The right ingredients, soaked in marinated soup, need to be stewed for over 10 hours before becoming fantastic tender meat filling.
肉讲究的是肥而不腻，熟而不柴嘛。这个肉腌完，然后嘴里留的有后香味儿，
对，
这才是最好的肉。
我们经常说一句话叫做入口即化。
对。
咱们这个腊汁肉不仅入口即化，咬那么2口之后，特别润的感觉，顺着嗓子就下去，入口即流的那种感觉。
咬到嘴里是满口流油。这个馍能打成这样吧，肉夹到里头这么香，你3天不吃，你想的都没办法。
When you carefully consider the taste of the bun, it's not hard to understand that this delicious food that local people take for granted actually contains the fruits of painstaking effort.
你别看就这么2样东西，就把这个面的味道、肉的味道、最深层、最极致的味道给挖掘出来。
对，
要不怎么说是3秦饮食文化的一个代表作？
The best flavor is extracted from the most unpretentious ingredients. What is most enjoyable about rojiao is it beautifully combines taste and ingredients. Well, I wonder, what are the techniques of pizza making? Among the multifarious types of pizza available today, there is one that was born in Naples, and this is the margherita pizza. It is considered the most classic combination.
Ciao. Welcome, vieni.
Grazie.
You like the margherita pizza? Ci spiego un po' la pizza napoletana.
Margherita, yeah.
Guarda, questo.
We could say that margherita is another name for Italian flavor. The soul of this pizza is its handmade dough.
它有要摁的一下子，到时候会膨胀的。
The chef said that the dough is not ordinary. It cannot be too thick nor too soft, not too thin nor too crispy. Otherwise, it will be too pronounced, and it will not be authentic. But this made me wonder, what exactly does too pronounced mean? We will have to watch and wait. Wow, all the colors of tomato sauce, cheese, and basil are very much in step with the colors of the Italian flag. The name Margherita was bestowed by Queen Margherita, who was a big fan of this pizza at the time. With all the ingredients spread out on the dough, it was time for the pizza to go in the oven. That's when the chef told me again that the baking shouldn't be pronounced either.
90 secondi di
What exactly does he mean by saying pronounced? What does it have to do with the production process? It seems that I simply won't understand without tasting it. While tasting it carefully, I seem to have finally figured out what he means by saying not too pronounced. In comparison to rojiao's pursuit of the ultimate, Italians seem to care more about getting the balance of the ingredients just right. Being neither too thin nor too thick, the pizza dough emphasizes that every bite is just right. There has to be topping on each bite, yet not too much topping. 90 seconds of baking is just enough for the cheese to melt, for the tomato to keep its sourness, for the basil to exude its aroma. This is the perfect balance of ingredients and flavors that make pizza so appealing. When Neapolitans sing for a pizza, you can see how much they love their food. Sweetness has been a desirable taste ever since ancient times, bringing with it pleasures that are rare and fine. That is why the traditional desserts of East and West are full of such intelligent creativity and reflect the pursuit of gourmet flavor. There is one type of dessert we have to mention. It was said that the Tang Dynasty royals were all obsessed with it. What could it be, and what kind of charm does it possess? Fortunately, this mysterious dessert is not hard to find in Xi'an nowadays.
哎，你好，你好，你好，你好。
来里边，今天那个什么现场制作，这边师傅正在操作呢。
好好好。
一会儿看一下这个流程。
好的，好的。
As I expected, the skill looks like it has loads of history. First, the sugar should be simmered in water until golden brown. Then it must be poured out and cooled at precisely the split second before it crystallizes. Immediately afterwards, when the temperature drops to within 200 degrees, you must knead the syrup using considerable effort, turning it up and over and twisting it into long strips until it shimmers and is milky white all over. The texture at this stage is then somewhat like candy, but it's far from finished. And when the flour is added, and it has been constantly stretched, something magical happens.
来看一眼。
哦，是这样的。你仔细看起来，这一根一根的丝儿，实际上就是无数个细丝儿组成的。
That's right. This is the mysterious and ancient Oriental dessert called long su, or dragon's beard candy.
这是你们家的龙须酥，
这个放口里边入口即化。
Dragon's beard candy can be seen to be the ultimate type of Chang'an dessert. Even in today's high-tech world, only human hands can create such a delicate texture.
说减肥是吧？减肥。那好，我来一个。
尝一个，看口感是不是一样？
特别酥哇！一个酥甜香，而且那个就是那股香味儿啊，非常好。这是功夫活，这个你要糊弄时间，时间给你回报了就是不好吃。
The key element of traditional Chinese cuisine is definitely not expensive ingredients, but on the contrary, it is all about the artisan spirit that rises to the challenge. It is about an extraordinary creativity that transforms even the most ordinary ingredients into delicacies through great thought and craftsmanship. What kind of sweetness will be waiting for me in Rome? This restaurant, Pompeii, is the branch of a renowned dessert chain in Rome. It offers a wide variety of desserts, the most famous of which is the dessert that we are all familiar with, tiramisu. As the original story goes, a young girl used all her sweetness to create this cake in an attempt to win her lover's heart. I don't know if it worked at the time, but to me at least it looks very tempting. So what secret does tiramisu hold? We need to start with the unique way it is made. The flavors of this dessert are layered and rich. First, you need to soak the freshly baked finger biscuits in the coffee and sweet wine before laying them at the bottom of the container. The next step is to whisk the combination of cream and cream cheese till it's foamy and then spread it on top of the finger biscuits to create a thick layer. I thought that would be enough, but the chef told me that another 2 layers are needed to deliver the richness that tiramisu deserves. Finally, sprinkle cocoa powder and chocolate chips and put it in the freezer for 20 minutes to let the whipped cream gradually create an ice cream-like texture. Then the tiramisu is done. A little later, the first tiramisu I've ever made with my own hands is about to be served.
Buono. Sappiamo che è buono.
Good, good.
The crispness of the cookies, the flavor of the cream cheese, The mellow taste of the coffee and wine and the softness of the ice cream are all mixed in this sweet dessert. It's so gratifying, it's no wonder this feeling of happiness is so captivating. Once you've tasted tiramisu, you'll understand that what the Italians are looking for in a dessert is the beauty of fusion. What they create is a balanced and rich experience with a long aftertaste. Although the desserts of the East and West have their own distinctive characteristics, their pursuits for flavor are similar. Crafting their desserts repeatedly and carefully, they try to maximize perfection and provide the ultimate selection. You can't enjoy a feast without drinks, liquids that elevate the senses instantly on the tables of Chang'an and Rome. Why can we never taste the flavor of grain in this grain-brewed Chinese liquor? We need to introduce this topic by looking at how the liquor is made.
Yo, 这就是我们蒸馏曲酒的酒胚。
啊，酒胚。这里边好丰富。
有上一轮的发酵的酒精，还有这一轮的加入的新的高粱、稻皮。这里面酒精含量大约在5%。你尝一尝，酸酸的。
又是酸的。
酸中带涩，说明这个酒胚发酵比较。
Since the earliest days of Chinese spirit, the ingredients have always been the most common grains, including those which are hard to swallow. Making liquor from these ingredients requires real skill.
这就是装赠是吧？
啊，装赠、取酒和蒸凉的过程，一前一前的装上，蒸汽从这个锅底往上行，和这个冷的酒胚是相互进行交换，不停的交换，让这酒蒸汽上行。哟，这就是原浆酒出来了。现在这里看，酒花很大，消失的很快，就说明这个酒度高。
哦，你用肉眼就能看出来。
啊，这酒度高，这个现在在70度以上。
70度以上。听说过70度，从来没接触过70度。
酿酒师傅尝了个酒的感觉，可以评出做的好坏。
哇，真厉害，太厉害了。
The process of making spirits like Chinese liquor requires at least a dozen steps, and it's always been extremely complicated. Even after every painstaking distillation, the most crucial step is yet to come.
这里就是我们酒体设计室，白酒的勾兑使酒中的微量成分混合堆加在一起，把你这个酒的一个口感特色要烘托出来。
这个还必须得经过人工的品尝。给我一下。
刚开始做的时候，每个酒的香气它就是不一样的，感官的质量要求是首先的。它这些酒刚开始勾兑，它的酒的都有缺陷的，因为它要弥补这些缺陷，然后再添加调味酒。白酒毕竟是一个大家喝完有一种舒适性的感觉。
As the saying goes, liquor is the spirit of grain, and the word spirit is precisely the essence of the taste. To the Chinese, good liquor comes from nature, but is always beyond nature. All raw materials must be refined and blended carefully and repeatedly to create a higher level of taste enjoyment from the grains. What we drink is a kind of transformation, and what we taste is pure and deep processing. When it comes to Italian drinking culture, spirits are not actually their forte. What they enjoy most is wine. They drink it with dinner, during conversation, in groups, and even when they are alone, often with a glass of wine in hand. What intrigues me is, when they drink wine, what kind of flavors are they actually savoring? Well, the secret is hidden in this Roman winery, which specializes in providing wine to European royal families. Thanks to the unique volcanic geology of the Apennines, the soil here is ideal for vineyards. The owner of the winery points to his field, saying humorously that the grapes here are so sweet thanks to the volcanic eruption that engulfed Pompeii. Look at these grapes. They're truly lip-smacking. According to historical records, grape juice was first used as a vitamin supply for sailors. However, no one expected the grape juice to turn into wine by itself after being left for a long time. Thanks to this, wine is made without any special processing, even to this day. The grapes, both red and white, only need to be pressed and stored. Wine is actually a natural product of fermentation. When people say dry wine, what they mean is that the sugar in the grape juice has naturally transformed into alcohol over years of storage. The sweetness will disappear and the aroma become more intense. The whole process is then naturally complete. The color, aroma, and taste of a sip of wine all comes from the work of nature. So it's the quality of the grapes rather than artificial modification that determines the quality of the wine. What the Italians enjoy in wine is the very taste of nature. Whether it's the natural beauty of wine or the deep processing of Chinese liquor, it's a complementary expression of how the East and the West regard their drink. The experience of their passionate enjoyment is equally memorable. Italians are well known for being coffee heads. It can mean the end of the world for them if there's no coffee. So in a country where the average person consumes 1,179 cups of coffee per year, how precisely should this coffee be consumed? To get a handle on things, I came to a century-old coffee shop in Naples.
Un caffè. Grazie.
Sai che caffè stai prendendo? È il caffè più antico di Napoli. È tra i caffè più antichi d'Italia. Odoralo. Odoralo il caffè.
The taste is indeed beautiful. The owner said that espresso is the coffee that Italians mainly drink. Espresso means fast. This coffee's most obvious characteristic. First of all, production is fast. In the early 20th century, the Italians invented this type of extracted espresso by using steam pressure. This totally improved the concept of making coffee with a pot of boiling water. It only takes 30 seconds to make a cup of coffee. It seems they simply can't wait for their delicious drink.
我有一个疑问啊，就是我到意大利之后，我发现意大利的人经常是站着喝咖啡。因为在中国的话，我们喝咖啡都要休闲，都要坐起来，而且我发现其他国家的人一般来讲也是坐起来的。那么为什么意大利人要站着喝咖啡？
L'italiano prende molti caffè al giorno, generalmente prende 4-5 caffè. E il caffè italiano è ristretto, c'è una piccola quantità all'interno. Quindi con 2 sorsi è finito.
It's such a surprise that they drink their coffee faster than making it, and they don't even have to sit down to enjoy it. After a shot, my heart rate immediately went up and I felt a rush of excitement in an instant. I felt so alert. It's the first time I've ever experienced a coffee that works so swiftly. It turns out that for Italians, coffee is not only a drink, but also a treat to take a break from work. After intense work, a short coffee break rejuvenates the mind. It can activate all the energies in your body with its distinctive aroma and strong, bitter flavor. If a quick and enjoyable espresso expresses the fast-paced life of contemporary Italians, well, what does tea mean to the Chinese? Chinese people have a very long history of drinking tea, but we've never drunk it to quench thirst, but rather to nurture our souls.
这里所展示的呢是法门寺地宫所出土的一套唐代的茶具，看起来呢种类繁多，而且跟我们今天喝茶用的这个茶具呢有很大的差距。
With such complicated tea sets in the Tang Dynasty, how exactly would they drink tea? Why don't we use the same techniques to taste tea as they did over 1,000 years ago?
哦，这就是按照唐代的工艺做的茶叶饼。
对，这就是按照《陆羽茶经》上记载的唐代的一种蒸青。 它是采来新茶叶以后上笼屉蒸，然后再把它捣碎，然后再把它拍成这种饼。
等于就是用的时候，就等于我们把它加一块
啊，然后搁到那个炭火上，把它一烤，它就成酥的了，茶的香气也出来了。
Unlike coffee, the preparation of Tang-style tea is not only complicated, but also requires a slow and painstaking process.
它是这样子，先把干的这种茶饼呢放到纸上，把它敲碎，然后把它碾碎，然后再筛箩，把它筛得很细，就成抹茶了。这就是那个茶粉。
哦，就是那个碾好，然后筛过的。
筛过的茶粉。
哦，比我想象的颜色要深，煮这个东西。
就是煮这个东西。
那跟我们现在
完全是不一样的。
Freshness is key for Tang-style tea, so all this work must be done from scratch and done slowly.
那这个煮有什么讲究吗？
先煮开了，头一开呢是舀出来一勺，然后给里面加盐，等第二开就下茶粉，再等第三开把刚才那一勺水再倒进去，要点一下，它那个茶就不老了。把它都煮开以后，这个茶就煮好了。
Before I knew it, already half a day's work had gone by for this cup of fine tea to be ready.
好，谢谢。
The slow rhythm pursued by Chinese tea culture not only lets people indulge in the fragrance of tea, but it also cultivates one's character and repose while emphasizing the drinking of tea. Tea should be taken slowly because its spiritual enjoyment can never be experienced in one shot. I've always believed that presentation is a highly sophisticated discipline, and it's also a cultural attribute of cuisine. During my time in Rome, I've always wondered how Italian food is presented. I've tried a whole variety of the most authentic flavors here in Italy, from high-end restaurants to home kitchens, from specialities to traditional dishes. This realm of gourmet food has been an eye-opening and rewarding experience. While savoring these dishes, I realized that beauty is the most important thing when presenting Italian food. For example, when I went in search of prized ham, I discovered that the Italians prefer to serve thinly sliced ham with fresh honeydew melon, using the juice to complement the meat. This pairing emphasizes the beauty of taste. When experiencing a fine cheese, you need to drink red wine. When tasting a special type of coffee, you can add some spices. Pairing is all about amplifying the wonderful aromas and indulging one's sense of smell. When I went to the palace trying to find out about Italian state dinners from over a century ago, I realized that shape and color are sought after in exquisite food. Beautiful food needs a beautiful appearance, and presentation puts emphasis on visual satisfaction. Italians often say that food should always bring visual enjoyment first, and then aromatic comfort, before delivering happiness to the mouth. Italians leave the impression that they love their food, and I got to experience their taste and style on this journey. For a nation which worships beauty, cooking is never just about satisfying the appetite, but about creating an experience of color and aroma through pairing, so that every part of your body can be satisfied. The perfect meal for Italians is a blend of artistic thought and expression. It's a cultural treat. This journey made me realize that the reason why Italian cuisine is so highly praised the world over is because of the emphasis on the beauty of pairing. Chinese food is also about aesthetics. But pairing in Chinese food has been inherited from generation to generation in an even deeper quest. I wonder what that could be.
这里是西安的小东门，也是唐代的永兴坊所在地。这的长安美食历史非常的悠久。
The open and prosperous Han and Tang dynasties should be regarded as periods of integration between traditional Chinese food concepts and an unprecedented variety of food. With the advent of new ingredients, our cuisine has become more and more complex. However, no matter what ingredients are used, Chinese food has always upheld the tradition of putting health first and foremost. This logic reflects the concept of a typical Chinese diet, which emphasizes the reconciliation of yin and yang to nourish the body with food. Chinese medicine has divided food into 5 categories according to function and effect. These are hot, warm, flat, cool, and cold. At the same time, Chinese medicine also recommends different food for different seasons. Therefore, when to eat and how to eat becomes particularly important. Since ancient times, roujiaomo and saozi or minced soup noodles, combine hot-natured meats and cold-natured vegetables to suit all seasons. Cold glass noodles with fresh vegetables are the perfect choice for summer, while dumplings and stomach-warming lamb soup sprinkled with bread is ideal for winter. Even in the case of a banquet where you can eat everything, the ingredients are never left alone but are cooked together with corresponding side dishes. This allows the flavors to be enriched and also creates a balanced complement of hot and cold, meat and vegetables. Such examples are too numerous to list along this journey. It is precisely this emphasis on healthy pairing that has shaped Chinese dining habits. Whether it's Western, Italian pairing with a focus on beauty, or the Oriental Chinese style of food for health, both reflect a way of harmony, and each cuisine inherits a civilization of hard work and wisdom.